the combats were around Donetsk airport and northern western suburbs of Marinka and Svetlodarsk area, despite large-scale artillery and 120 millimeter mortars and tanks. The militants has carried out at least 11 shelling of our positions from Grad reactive missile installations. The militants carefully prepared this attack. The information of the SMM OSCE proves that there were maneuver of military machinery at night from June 2nd to June 3rd. Thus, 10 tanks T-64 and T-72 were maneuvering. Then heavy artillery 122, 152 millimeters and MLRS installations were maneuvering. Then the observers have registered artillery fire from the side of militants, which started at 4:30 and ended in 8 a.m. It's necessary to underscore that nobody of the leaders of LNR and DNR never contacted SMM OSCE observers from the beginning of this aggressive attack. Because of the threat to servicemen and civil residents of Marinka, ATO has made decision to use artillery equipment which was withdrawn in line with Minsk agreements, and this step was coordinated with international partners and OSCE mission. Our servicemen displayed courage and defended this territory. Marinka remains under full control of Ukrainian authorities. The operative information suggests that there were heavy losses among the militants, and thus they lose 10 units of machinery, 80 militants were destroyed, and more than 100 were wounded. In the neutral area, there are still bodies of the killed militants and mercenaries. That artillery shelling of Marinka brought suffering to civil population. 2 people were killed and 5 were wounded, and also Karlevska filtering station remained without current, and this stopped water supplies to the surrounding settlements. Because of the shelling, some residential buildings were damaged and destroyed in Lebedinsk and Lugansk. The attack of militants on Marinka was sharply condemned by our Western partners. Representatives of the U.S. State Department, Ms. Mary Harp, emphasized that resuming of attacks carried out by United Russian separatist forces is unacceptable and violates Minsk agreements. Russia is directly responsible for prevention of these attacks and implementation of the ceasefire. Besides the attacks and the combats near Marinka and artillery shelling, there was a combat between militants and ATO forces near Lozove and Svetlodarsk. The attack of the enemies was repelled by fire in response. There is an information about military actions in other areas of the front line. In Mariupol, near Mariupol, there was Shirokin, a village was remained the combat point. The heavy weaponry was used by our enemies, and thus they used 122 millimeter guns, and they hide them in Sahanka. In Lugansk area, the biggest combats were in Stanitsa, Lugansk, where the enemies shelled our positions in 122 in 20 millimeters near Kapitanovo in Novaidan region. The car exploded and 2 local residents were killed. These were 2 pensioners. This location is 15 kilometers from the delineation line, and probably this was done by subversive groups during the last 24 hours. We have registered 62 flies of drones, and because of the combat activities in ATO zone, 5 Ukrainian servicemen were killed and 38 were wounded. The biggest losses ATO forces got in the combats near Marianka and Lugansk. The intensive training of tank units continue, and Ukrainian servicemen had a special training in correction of fire and shelling from different positions. Although the National Guard's servicemen improved their skills, especially for snipers, and then they participated in psychological testing, fire preparation, topography, and tactical training. They are allowed to improve their theoretical and tactical skills, and the assessment of the quality of skills is carried out for daytime and nighttime. Ukrainian special services have revealed subversive agents and traitors. SBU has detained pro-Russian subversive agent who tried to blow out the railway in Kharkiv, leading to the fuel materials storage. The terrorist belonged to DNR, and another deserted officer was detained by SBU. He quit from Ukrainian military forces in 2014 and got a nom de guerre Sokol. He entered a plot band formation, and because of participation in terrorist organizations, he will be punished with imprisonment from 8 to 15 years. And good news yesterday from the imprisonment. Ukrainian National Guard serviceman was liberated. He stayed as a prisoner of war